But I still had a few issues with bubbling. The real test will be after it's dry.
As we have a shipping container house, we have this big bulky thing.
Which is actually really weird because doing the corners was the most difficult.
Got the goods.
Yep.
Baby, don't you understand that we only get one life? I wanna make it count, honey. Come on now and take my hand.
The past few weeks have been overwhelming to say the least. Making the decision to take the walls down and add more insulation,
I think we're ready!
along with a few other improvements, was not one that we took lightly, but one that we think will pay off big time in the future. Now that all the drywall is back up, we can finally start finishing mudding and taping the walls, as well as prepping for paint. And what a better place to start than the kitchen.
That's probably about good. I tried to tape everything the other night, but I still had a few issues with bubbling, so I've seen these before and I figured I might as well give it a shot. It was only 40 bucks. So far so good. I guess let's see how it goes on. Ooh.
Hey y'all, I wanted to take a quick second to tell you about today's sponsor, Thrive Market. Thrive Market is an online membership-based grocery store that is on a mission to make healthy living easy and affordable for everyone. You are guaranteed savings on every single order. You can choose a month-to-month membership at just $12 or an annual membership billed at $59.95, which comes out to about $5 a month. Personally, I have a really hard time finding healthy alternatives in my normal grocery store. Cody and I have been trying to eat healthier and live healthier, and with Thrive Market, there are so many options. With Thrive's website, you'll be able to filter the products by different types of lifestyles and diets, making your shopping experience completely customizable. But it's not all just food. There are cleaning essentials and just your every day-to-day products. My most recent discovery on Thrive Market has been their spices. It's very hard to find high-quality spices in your normal grocery store, and high-quality spices really improve the taste of your food. And so I will now forever buy my spices through Thrive Market. Join Thrive Market today to get 30% off your first order and a free gift worth up to $60 using our link right here on the screen. Thank you so much, Thrive Market, for sponsoring today's video, and let's get back to it.
So it worked out pretty good so far. It definitely put a lot more mud on the tape and made it a lot easier to apply. The real test will be after it's dry, so I guess we'll see. And now I'm just mixing up a batch for the layer that goes on top.
So because we have a shipping container house, we have this big bulky thing on the back of our wall. The two shipping containers meet together and then they are welded across along the floor and along the top and along the walls. There's spray foam here because there's obviously exposed metal, and then we ended up framing it in, so there will be a piece of drywall that goes right here. Now, we thought about doing some sort of false wall to hide this, but I honestly kind of like it. It gives it character, and we're just going to build our countertops around it. I don't really think it's going to be that big of a deal, but I just kind of wanted to explain this because with having a shipping container house, you do have a couple things that are just a little bit different from your average house. And we're starting on this half of the kitchen. This is where I typically do all my chopping, do all my cooking, and then my sink is right here. He's focusing on this half of the kitchen. That way we can dry, paint, and we can get our cabinets back in and have a functioning kitchen. And then we'll start working on the other half because we're gonna be building a new pantry, which we'll explain later on.
There's just like no way to get this little corner right here without digging into the wall since it's still wet, so I have to touch that up later. First wall done. I'd say this strip is probably the lightest, but I'm really happy with how the corners came out, which is actually really weird because doing the corners was the most difficult. Like typically, you know, you can fold the paper in half before you actually put it up there to get your corner shaped out. But with this, since it already has the mud on it, you can't really bend it. So you kind of just gotta like push it in the corners. So it was more difficult to do the corners, but they came out really good. I guess so far so good with the tool. We got it on Amazon, it's non-sponsored. I guess one other feature you could say that I didn't mention earlier is it's got this little tab on the bottom so you can flip it around and do more mud or less mud on the tape, so that's kind of cool too. I've seen a lot of people do the DIY ones like with the bucket and stuff, but I didn't really want to mess with doing that or have the time to do it right now, so we just said, screw it, we'll pay the 40 bucks and try it out. So if you're like me and not at all good at drywall, definitely a good tool to use, and I'll have Summer put the link in the description. Right now our main focus is the kitchen, like Summer said earlier. That way we can get our cabinets back in and be able to actually utilize our kitchen because we're spending so much money eating out. I'm tired of it. And I miss Summer's cooking. But anyway, go ahead and do this last part of the ceiling right here for the kitchen because this light breaks it up right here, so it's kind of just a little section on its own anyway. And the only reason I'm doing the ceiling right here is because we have cabinets that go right here, so we want to make sure we get it done.
Got the goods.
Yep.
Okay, it is getting kind of late now. I think it's like 11:45 to be exact, but I'm going to take all of the drywall off of the windows because we are going to do some window prep tomorrow and insulate our windows a little bit further. I'll have Cody talk to y'all about all of that tomorrow, but before it gets too late, because we're kind of on a time crunch, I'm gonna just take everything down so that way tomorrow is smooth sailing. One trick that we found since doing all of this drywall removal to keep it intact and so you're not having to search forever for screws, if you just take a magnet, it'll line you right up, and then you can just put your impact in reverse and you're good to go. Super easy.
Update, it's 12:54. I got the rest of the windows done and then just put everything back. While I've been doing that, Cody has been adding the last of the insulation right here. And what, are we ready?
Yep, and now we're gonna put up the last piece of drywall.
And then we're gonna call it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello friends. Obviously things are a lot different behind me. The last thing that y'all saw was Cody finishing up all of the mud and tape. He painted the next day and we were just so busy because we're going out of town this weekend that I really didn't film a whole lot, and we really just didn't do a whole lot with the house. We were packing and prepping and doing all of those things. We have a house sitter coming to stay with our house while we go out of town for the weekend, so we have to get this place somewhat functional. It is Cody's little brother, so it's really not that big of a deal, but we do need to make sure that we have somewhat of a working kitchen so he can feed himself while we're gone. So that's what we've been doing.
We're still working on the kitchen. I basically just slid all the cabinets and the stove over in place. That way he could just be able to have a countertop and be able to use the stove this weekend. So we still have a lot of work to do in here, but we will be getting to that Monday whenever we get back.
Yes, Cody and I literally never go out of town unless the rare occasion that we go to Texas to visit family. We try to go camping as much as we can. We just haven't gone in about a year, so.
I'm gonna take a beer in a lawn chair and I'm gonna sit in the creek, and that's about it.
That's our vacation. So
Yeah.
very, very, very excited. We look forward to this every year. Yeah, I probably will film a little bit and it'll go in the next video, or I might just enjoy our trip. Really just depends. I don't know yet. We'll see what I'm feeling. But anyways, that's why this video is a little bit short. We are very excited to get this up and going, and we will resume back on Monday, so.
Yep, and definitely be looking out for that because we're pretty much gonna finish the entire living room. So ceiling, walls, drywall, seal and paint everything, and then start actually doing finishes.
Yes, so all the design
very
aspects.
excited.
I'm very, very, very excited.
Yeah, I think one thing that I really miss the most is baseboards. I think I'm
Really?
excited about baseboards.
Yep. I really want to put backsplash in the kitchen. In our old house, we didn't do backsplash until like a couple months before we moved, so I didn't really get to enjoy it, and I just have this weird fascination with backsplash. So, very excited to finish the kitchen.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.
Baby, don't you understand that we only get one